Details of a peace plan between the US and Iran have been made public, with Donald Trump saying it could be signed as early as tomorrow. The 14-point memorandum of understanding would end all hostilities on all fronts, including Lebanon, for at least 60 days, while a longer-term agreement is hammered out. The main points include the US ending its naval blockade of Iran within 30 days and the key waterway, the Strait of Hormuz, being reopened, apparently toll-free. America would begin lifting sanctions and unfreezing Iranian assets and funds held abroad. A $300 billion reconstruction fund would be set up, though it's unclear who'd pay for it. And the Iranians will commit to one of Donald Trump's main objectives, not developing or procuring nuclear weapons, with both countries working together to remove any enriched material. Now, while this isn't a final agreement, it makes no mention of Iran's ballistic missile capabilities or its support for groups like Hezbollah. We'll get reaction from Washington in a moment, but first, Donald Trump has been touting the deal at the G7 summit in France, from where James Waterhouse has our top story tonight.
When you're a US president partial to pageantry, there are few better dinner venues than the Palace of Versailles. Diplomacy, yes, but also a strategy to prevent Donald Trump from cutting his visit to France short. Because the last time the G7 group of advanced economies met, he did just that. On this occasion, in the eastern town of Evian, America's allies managed to keep its leader engaged for the entire three-day summit. We knew Donald Trump would dominate proceedings, but it's the way he has which is significant. America and Israel's war in Iran and how it ends was seemingly at times all that was being talked about. And yet the other leaders claim this has been a successful few days. But their priorities differ and their patience has certainly been tested. The US president often arrived late to meetings and didn't exactly apologise.
I'm the boss.
And he certainly steered the agenda. There were agreements on issues like online safety and economic inequality, but Mr. Trump has been very keen to talk up his deal with Iran to stop a war he started alongside Israel nearly 4 months ago. But when asked whether it was final, he gave this warning.
No, it's not final. It's a memorandum of understanding, and if I don't like it, we'll go back to shooting at them, dropping bombs on their head.
We now know this agreement includes significant American concessions that could see billions of dollars flood into the Iranian economy. In return, Iran agrees to never make a nuclear weapon, something Donald Trump says matters most. But in Evian, his allies have been desperate for more detail.
They are thrilled that we made a deal, every one of them. There's not one nation that came to us and said, please, sir, keep dropping bombs on them. Please keep dropping bombs. The stupid people said that.
There's also cautious optimism around the proposed unblocking of the key Strait of Hormuz, a source of global economic pain after Iranian drones and American warships prevented cargo vessels from passing through. As Emmanuel Macron and Donald Trump dine in the French capital tonight, it was hoped here that the US president will also turn his attention to the war in Ukraine. There have been conversations, but this is a conflict that has had to make way for one more important to America. James Waterhouse, BBC News, Evian.
Let's go to Gary O'Donoghue, who was at that briefing in Washington, where officials gave more details of the Iranian peace plan. He joins us now live. Gary, the memorandum states clearly the Strait of Hormuz would be reopened, toll-free. But in the last few minutes, the Iranians suggesting they could charge.
Yeah, in fact, the officials we were hearing from earlier on said it would be open toll-free for 60 days. And they said after that there would be a discussion, a negotiation between Iran and the other Gulf states and, of course, Oman, which borders the strait as well. And the view here is that those other states wouldn't allow Iran to charge after that. Now, Iran is now saying, actually, you know what, we really will charge. So that could be a huge change in the status of the Strait of Hormuz if those charges happen after that 60-day period. A couple other key differences in this document. The nuclear material will be down blended, as they put it here. That means diluted on site, that is, and overseen by the Atomic Energy Agency, the international one. No mention of it being removed from the country. They say that's a minimum here, but still open for negotiation. And then the whole question of the $300 billion fund. The Americans say they won't pay a cent towards it. It'll just be funded when they release assets and unfreeze sanctions. Clive, every single word of this 14-point memo is going to be scrutinised over the next couple of days. And the big question here is what the US, if anything, has got out of its war with Iran.
Yeah. All right. Gary O'Donoghue, our chief North America correspondent. Many thanks, Gary. Well, Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu helped convince Donald Trump to go to war in the first place with Iran, but there's been no reaction from him today to this deal. There is, however, concern among some Israelis at the concessions to Iran and the decision to include Lebanon in the ceasefire. From Jerusalem, here's Lucy Williamson.
Israel's conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon could test the US ceasefire with Iran and the US-Israeli alliance. Donald Trump agreed to end this conflict and to respect Lebanon's territorial integrity, but Israeli strikes and Israeli occupation continued today, with 5 Israeli soldiers injured in Hezbollah drone attacks. Donald Trump issued a veiled reminder of his demands to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, known as Bibi.
We have a little dispute over Lebanon. I say, you can do a little softer touch, Bibi. You don't have to knock down a building every time somebody walks into it that's from Hezbollah.
Donald Trump has frequently insulted and humiliated Netanyahu, saying he does what he's told. But Israelis from the far right to the liberal left say on this he shouldn't.
I think that Netanyahu should do exactly what he wants to do and not be harassed by Donald Trump.
We would like to protect our country from other terror activities.
Netanyahu has no choice. He is not able to give Trump everything he wants, because we have to stay living here. We have to survive.
Israel's UN ambassador, a close ally of Netanyahu, has described the ceasefire deal as very bad for Israel. And both Netanyahu's political rivals and allies are piling on the pressure, calling on him to defy Donald Trump and continue fighting Hezbollah.
We must destroy Hezbollah army capacity before anyone tells us that there is a ceasefire. We will have to protect ourselves. They still attacked us. They still build capacity to attack us. And that's something we cannot live quietly with.
Benjamin Netanyahu is still insisting that the war with Iran was a success, boosting Israeli power and weakening Iran, even as his critics list the ways Iran has emerged stronger from this conflict. And both his political rivals and his allies point to the rift in the American alliance that was touted as stronger than ever just months ago. Israel's Prime Minister has staked his political future on this war. The US and Iran will now begin negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. Netanyahu will want to influence those discussions. With his hotline to Washington gone cold, he'll be looking for a way to do it. Lucy Williamson, BBC News, Jerusalem.